Don't want to argue philosophy with you. Brotherhood are preservationists. Tech in the wrong hands, it's dangerous. Mojave's proof.
No denying that. Proof's here in this crater, all around us. Your tribe, the Brotherhood, haven't met many of you. Wanted to. Thought you might be the last chance for the Mojave, the West, the East. But you're all the same mind. Obsessed.
Elijah is obsessed. He's mad. It's why they ordered his execution.
Two are more alike than you know. Too wrapped up in the wrong bits of history to see ahead. Not judging. I know how it is. People are like couriers. You and him. Sometimes don't even know the message they bring. You all had a new flag. Thought maybe new ideas along with it. What you believe isn't any better than the bear or bull. No future in either.
So says the man with the old world flag on his back. America, the Commonwealth, burned away.
America sleeps. And until it's dead, I carry it. Just like I carried you. More than hope. Belief. There's voices here in the big empty. I want to talk to them. Not like your Elijah did. Got questions. Want to hear history give its answer.
Didn't think you'd make it back.
Almost didn't. Got my answers. Your Elijah. He met the gods in this place. Did a good job of making them question the way of things.
Do you know where he went?
He's gone to the Sierra Madre. That's a special kind of hell. He won't come back. Someone smarter, tougher is going to kill him. If the Madre doesn't.
I have to go after him.
Not going to talk you out of it. Know what it means to track someone you share history with. Got a meeting of my own.
That courier?
Get him to come to me. Got a message for him. Like the message he had for me. Make them walk the road west, straight and true. Sink their feet in old world ash. Let storms tear at them. See the divide. See what happened.
The divide? There's nothing there.
Nothing there. Like the big empty. The Sierra Madre. No. The old world sleeps there. Sure as the flag I carry. The courier knows the way. And at the divide, he and I, there, we'll have an ending to things.
There's your signal. Faint, but there. Just like NCR. Voice without fire, without strength. Sick. Heard tales of you walking the Mojave, giving the two-headed bear strength, giving hollow men like Kimball, like Crocker, half the life Hanlon had. Now, let's test that strength, that conviction, courier. The divide. This place is a slice of it. Old military. Can still smell the pride and the fear. Hope of the old world. Wrapped in fencing, covered in storm. Got new inhabitants now. Other than ghosts. More recent. Recruits. America sleeps in the divide. Giants beneath the earth. You saw one locked in the silo beneath you. There's more. Only takes a few of them, locked below ground, to tear apart the earth and cast dust, sand, ash into the skies above. You'll see the extent, the miles of it, soon enough. You need to see it. walk it. For now, eyes alert, watch the streets below. There's still life in the divide. Threats, other than the storms and wind. New inhabitants. These new inhabitants, not natives, most of them, came with duty, purpose, ready to kill each other. The divide was stronger. Left marks on them too. Not bear, not bull. Now, radiations marked them, made them equal in history's eyes. As vicious as the storms are, these shadows of Legion, of NCR, silhouettes of things to come. Might have been, once. To the divide they came. In the divide, they rest. If you saw their corpses, you saw mercy, got what they deserved, coming to the divide. The bear and bull, NCR Legion, came in waves, before and after, right into the invisible fires, the wind, ground, collapsing beneath them. Once under different flags, now they are equal in their hatred of the trespassers, you and I. Even as the fires here burned them from within, the winds of the divide tore their skin, exposed them, screaming to the sky. And just as the divide tears at them, so they tear at each other, for sport, like some tribal scarification. Falling back to their history, maybe. No matter what they suffer, the radiation, fire of the divide sustains them, makes them stronger. There's truth in your words, in what I've seen of their tactics, movements, recovery. Those wounds, they couldn't live otherwise. The divide winds have torn the skin from many of them. Maybe the radiation is the only thing keeping them walking. They camp near silos, warheads. No way to cleanse the radiation. Makes them hard to kill there. Have to draw them out. The robot with you. All of them are machines, radios, old world tech reshaped with new hands, historians, couriers carrying messages. Seen them as I've walked the divide, tending other machines. That one, sealed inside the Hopeville silo. Sign America is waking up. It will follow you, obey you, carry it until we are face to face. Then there'll be no more need for it to carry my words. I'm a courier. Courier 6 was Courier 6. Like you, and not like you. In all the ways that matter. Spent too many years looking for you. Now letting you come to me. Thought carrying that ship would end you. No, you got lives in you, hard to kill. Storms, bullets, sand and wind. Yet still you walk. For now. Words are the only way couriers meet. Sometimes it's the paths we walk. But no. We've never spoken before now. You may not know my voice, but we've walked the same places. The long 15 to Prim. That wasn't the only road you ever walked. I've been to your home, the place you kept returning to. May not be the place you were born, was the place you gave life to. Same thing. People forget, Couriers can keep communities alive until the day they're gone and their breath catches in their throat. Meant to? No, never. You're a burden. Weigh you down long enough to let death catch up to you. But you survived. There was death in that package, and while the chip is important to old world ghosts, no, you are more dangerous than that chip ever could be. Maybe why you found each other. Little piece of the old world speaking to you, waiting for you to wake something else up with it. We all have death following us. Only a question of how close. You dodged it for a time. You're good at that. Talent for it. With that chip weighing you down, a burden. Let's death move a little faster without me pulling the trigger. Promises to keep to others. And the Mojave's dangerous enough left to the land. The land has its way. If I wanted you dead, we would have met sooner. Not sure that's the way this ends. Might be that history needs to have its say. If not, then messages will do. America sleeps ahead of you. Its nightmares filled with quakes, storms. You'll need to find your own path. That means waking America's spears up from their slumber. There's ways. Warheads set off collapse. Warheads could open the gates again. You're resourceful. That machine, robot with you, can help you find the warheads you need to destroy. And their trigger, the detonator. The way ahead is below. The tools are there. The rest, up to you. Who are you who do not know your history? You came all this way for answers. Only currency I have. Nothing else to be gained. Could turn around, walk away at any time. If history matters to you, you'll need to earn it. Any laws of mine, I have already cast away in the divide. They're lost to you. For now, find the trigger for the warheads buried in Hopeville. Use it to keep moving and keep alive. The divide will send its worst against you. It may break you. We'll see if you're stronger. Road gets rougher from here, courier. Left marks for you. Colors will tell the way if you're smart. They'll lead you to your home one more time. Lead to the ending of it. Maybe remind you why you wander. There you are. You went quiet for a time. Knew killing the bear wouldn't prove easy. You and your machine. You survived. There's a lesson here in the divide. Old world history about paving and intentions could teach the Republic a thing or two, if they listened. They have an idea of trying to do what's right, never quite getting there. Maybe you've seen it. Nipton. Elsewhere. Yes, and any courier could tell you the same. See it everywhere. The bear. Bear's too busy carving up the Mojave with knives, roads, borders, and how things should be, to see how it is. They're stretched thin, can't protect front lines, their towns. Think paper's power, radio means control. All of it useless. No matter now, Bear couldn't hold the divide. You and that machine are all that remains of NCR here. Rest fell to radiation, fire, and what burrows below. You see, true, not scavengers. It's what they wore before this all happened. Pain makes for strange allies. The hate the bear and bull shared across the battlefield now turned against the divide. Few survived, intact. Many NCR were already here when the destruction happened, keeping the route east open in fear of Caesar, fear of the Legion. The dam, that old world wall. The bear, NCR, couldn't be allowed to reach it easily. Long 15, Cayman, both bad enough. Kimball, Kaiser, House. You'd think their whole world was that wall, cutting the Colorado. If I'd never laid eyes on it, never spoke of it. But once found, it was all Caesar could see. That, and the flag beyond it, another symbol, big enough to challenge him. And the divide, one of the roads to it. Legion was tasked with cutting that artery. If you can't kill the bear in one stroke, bleed it, starve it. That kind of murder. It's what any of the Legion would have done. Now, the divide belongs to history. Tunnelers, predators that make their own roads beneath the ground here. Divide broke their sky, showed them the world above, and the scent of new prey. Be a slower death for the Mojave than bombs and fire, but they'll come before its people, from where they least expect, below. Makes sense. Truth favors that, matches the history of this place. Were signs they were here for a long time, before marked men, before what happened to the divide cracked their sky. If so, they were buried deep. Might have been born the day America's embers started to settle. Seen worse things twisted by radiation. Death will come from below. In the divide, need to watch the sky and the ground. Mojave will be easy prey for them. They'll start emerging throughout the Mojave in time. Might be years, probably less. They breed fast, hunt in groups, more than enough to bring down the strongest in the Mojave, once they draw blood. Seen them tear apart Deathclaws. Deathclaw might get some, but the rest will swarm it, tear it apart, like Denver hounds. Mojave and the Divide aren't the only places I've walked. Walked the east, too, before the bull came. Then, much like the Mojave before the bear, tribes, towns, clutching to life. Bull did a better job. They bear false versions of Legate Benuse's masks, the one Caesar fashioned for him. Thought it was an insult at first. No better now. It's shaped from divide metal, not with care and strength, but with hate. Keeps them anchored. Crude, effective, like the blades they carry. Distant mirrors of their legate. a symbol they can hold on to, while the divide tears at them. For the two-headed bear, NCR, they don't have symbols in the same way Legion does. They revere their mines and explosives, guns. That is their religion. Death from afar. Take pride in it. The tapes. Didn't think those would be found. You know the divide better than I thought. Had tech from the big empty. Recorder a woman gave me. Didn't survive the road on its last legs. Cast it and the tapes aside. Weren't worth the words anyway. Not like I'd forget what happened. If you heard them, nothing but ramblings, reminders for a man who doesn't need them. Probably more lying from here to the divide. Maybe not. Who's to say? You, perhaps, found them, heard them after I cast them aside. Maybe there was purpose in that. If they matter, if history matters, we'll see at the end of the road. At the end of the high road lies Ashton, its silo. That machine with you, it can open it, wake it up, like it did the one in Hopeville. Hate? No. There's nothing to hate in metal, steel, gold, or platinum. Your machine, it's just a tool, made of wreckage of the divide. All that was brought here. You know the why of it. If you don't, I do. And that's enough. Shows trust, only walks so far west. Earned more than that, though, getting this far. We walk the same road, carry the same colors. Can't break that by making the road red. Want more than that? Walk the divide. Answers will come. Closer you get to home. You and that machine. Many in the Mojave think the divide's nothing but canyon and storm. Wasn't always. There was life. A town farther west. Not talking about an old world town like Hopeville. More recent. Something you saw in your lifetime. It had the name, the divide, too. But rather than cracks in the earth, it was a road from the west into the Mojave, a supply line. Took a courier to make that road. You. Back then, you saw the road with eyes facing east. This time, the divide's in the other direction. And if your eyes try to make sense of it when you reach it, home's not what it was. All roads lead back to one's home. Not your birthplace, maybe, but home. Home isn't where you were born into this world. You taught me that. Part of your message, whether you meant it or not, can be a place of mind, a moment where you know who you are, the history of it, and they can be places you breathe life into. Never would have known the divide had it not been for you. The road you made with your tracks again and again. You were the only one willing to make the journey to and from here a hard for the divide alive through seasons, storms. Can't have been just a job. Was something more to you. Don't feel for a place that hard unless it's home. It means everything. Even if you deny it, cast it aside, that speaks to what you are, proves what happened here. It was you walking that road that kept the divide alive. It grew from what you did. Settlers, camps, filling that old world city. Chance for a new nation, new beginning, new way of thinking. Could have breathed new life into the Mojave, bridging east, west, like Hoover Dam. But not old world. Something you made. Road was a supply line. Not anymore. If one existed, the two-headed bear would have claimed it. And it tried to. NCR saw the worth in that road you made. Staked a claim, whether it was wanted there or not. True elsewhere in the Mojave. And where the bear tries to cling to life, the Legion comes, bearing messages. Some brought by blade, others by couriers. You knew what was coming, as sure as I know what's coming for you. This time you carry the burden. Walk west into the sun and keep walking until it dies. There, I'll be waiting. Hopeville, High Road, Ashton, tiny cracks in the earth, nothing compared to the road carved ahead. Before you, this is the edge of the divide. Ahead lies your work, the history you burned in the earth, what you brought to the people here. You delivered a package, had markings that matched those in the divide. Not all, but enough. Military markings. From someplace the bear had savaged in the west. Maybe seeing those markings on it reminded you of home, made you carry it. It was a device, a detonator, one I'd never seen before, or heard before. You carried that thing to the divide. I know because I followed you as you walked the road, watched you do it. You brought it here, to the community you built, and you are responsible for what happened after, when the device opened, started to speak. When it did, the divide answered back. Those missiles you've seen, buried in their silos. They exploded beneath the ground, cracked the landscape. Sand, ash, the dead. The divide skies became a graveyard. Should have died there, but now that I know you live, the machines here saved me. I was the only survivor, or thought I was. Your package, the message inside, awoke medical machines, close to the one that shadows you, began to build themselves, then others. They only take what parts they find in the divide, never roam beyond it. Can't even leave the silos without a human to shadow. Like hounds. Maybe they saw the flag on my jacket, thought I was of America. If so, history saved me. A sign. Machinery. Simple on the outside. Computer parts. Inside. More complicated. Was the only time I'd heard a machine speak in the divide, the only machine with a voice. I've walked the east. You've walked the west. More than I have. Circle Junction, Reno, Vault City. Word a few at Fort Ardash. Fort abandoned. Even further west than that, Brahmin drives on the big circle. Whatever you saw out there wasn't enough to make you stay. Maybe the markings on the package reminded you of the road home. If you had been there when it happened, if you had seen the divide break, you would know it. You carry death wherever you go. If the Mojave doesn't know it yet, it will. What happened here can happen again. You already proved it. What you did in Ashton, the silo there. Didn't stop you though. Like carrying the chip to Vegas. Old world death in your hand. Pieces of the old world like that just need someone careless enough to take them where they need to go, to do their killing. All these roads that you walked, these packages that you carried, think it wasn't your choice? Of course, it was your choice. You could have stayed in the Mojave, but you chose to come, couldn't let be. Not in you to let go. Came for no other reason than you were curious, restless, always have been. Had to know the why of it. Now I'll show you. Want to hear the answer of it? Not just history's answer. Your answer for what happened here. Accident. Ignorance is a choice. The chip, a choice. As for anger, it is what I carry for the dead, and all that come here. The soldiers of the bear, they were dead already. Their symbol diseased. Deserved to die as my brothers did at Boulder City. Mines, bombs. I carry nothing for them. Their deaths here were a mercy compared to the ones that still walk the divide. My family, my tribe lives. Its history died long ago. Fell under the shadow of the bull, consumed by another symbol. No, this isn't about family, or any common blood. It's blood shared by acts, not by chance. The supply line, the artery for the West. I have seen the blood of NCR at Legion hands many times. I carry no hatred for duty, if that's what this was. The divide was more than that. Its people more than that. The community that was once here, and the package you brought, both had markings of the divide, markings of America. You've seen the marks, the symbol, as early as the Hopeville silo, maybe. Carried it etched on your weapons. The divide, its buildings, its people, were built around those same markings, surrounded them here. Markings like the flag on my back when I followed a Euro road to the divide those years ago. symbol I wore all around me. An old world symbol, strong to survive here. Its people strong. Outlast the bear, outlast the bull. Promise of something better. Kaiser was right to want it dead. NCR was right to want to rake their claws in it. Seeing it changed me. Just as seeing Hoover Dam changed Kaiser and the NCR. Seeing it end changed me too. There was hope here, another chance, a new nation stirring to life, a place I could have set my flag. Not the America of old, but something larger than the tribes of the East, something larger than the houses of the West, something better. The divide could have bridged both, like Hoover Dam. Now, like the dam, it's too covered in blood to see what it could have been. You gave life to this place. I followed your road here, saw the divide. You led me here so that I could see. Then you brought it to an end. My history isn't revenge or hate. The road that brought us both here isn't about that. It's about the message you carried, the one in that package, whether you knew it or not. The message that one can kill a nation, can kill a symbol, and all that gather beneath its flag. I don't blame you for the divide. I blame you for what you made me see. Now you will see what you brought to the Mojave, and that will be my message to you. The nations of the Mojave, cracked and broken as the divide, its people the same. I have walked at Kaiser's command across the east into the west, far enough to know Kaiser's word did not drive me, far enough to see the end. You've seen it. No courier, whatever their flag, can ignore it. Why you didn't stay in the west, why you wondered. There's no future in the bear or bull. The bear is diseased, barely clings to life. And the bull, when the legion reaches the sea, it will turn on itself and die. Killing one will end both, and you made me see how one could do it. Your ignorance, carelessness, can be used with a purpose. Really, who's to say the truth of it? You? No. You walked from this, turned your back on it. Now you and others will answer for it. I'll start with the West. Let that burn. Then, if the East falters after, I'll bring the divide there as well. Burn away the flags. Begin again. Your road's not done. Haven't walked it full yet. Not nearly enough. The way ahead and below leads to the heart of the divide. And there, you and I, we'll have an ending to things. Already heard you once, long ago and loud enough for history to hear. Tired of your messages. Still, Curiosity drove you this far. Let's see what else it can do. Caesar's orders. Sometime before, I realized the why of it. Wasn't just you. All couriers. No telling how many were Legion. Maybe all of them. Wasn't sure about you until the divide. All the NCR burning. That much death. It bears the mark of a Legion hand. But you killed like NCR, like Hanlon, with mines, bombs, missiles, killed Legion along with the bear, like a coward kills from a distance. If you were Legion, then NCR beat you. The West changed you. I knew all of you, your name, your road to and from the divide, what that meant for the Legion. We never spoke, knew you through your actions, knew you'd walked the West as I'd walked the East, learned different lessons, and I would never have discovered the divide without you. You scavenge words, things I have no need of, no history there worth recounting. Scour the divide, claw at it for meaning, but my words will give you no answer. They won't help you understand what happened here, and they won't help you understand me. Keep them. Listen, study them. They won't help you here in the divide. As I said before, it's of no consequence. Never intended you to find them. Never intended you to hear them. Questions in those tapes I still haven't found answers to. You won't be the one to give them. Maybe not. Who's to say? You, perhaps, found them, heard them after I cast them aside. Maybe there was purpose in that. If they matter, if history matters, we'll see at the end of the road. You've seen the divide, walked it, farther than I thought you would. Not sure how much farther you have in you. If you need answers, speak. You've earned them. Even if only you and I can carry them from here. You know what it was. Had the symbols of America on it. New markings from after the Great War. Thought it might be America come again. Promise of another future, another flag. It was a piece of machinery, military, holding memories, codes maybe. When it woke, made these sounds, words. When it spoke, the divide became fire. The ground tore apart like the skies. Through it all, kept calling out, maybe calling for home. Buried in the divide, part of it now. Wherever it is, it's been silent. If it spoke again, we'd know. Machine couldn't speak by itself. Needed a terminal to access it. Thought that explosion, that building falling deep in the divide, might have been your work. Wouldn't kill you. Maybe close. Knew you'd survive, but no need to go any farther. You've brought me what I need. That machine with you, sealed in the Hopeville silo. Needed someone to unlock it. Bring it home. Now the signal's strong enough. No need for you to carry it anymore. I can call your machine to me. You gave it a name. What was it to you? Companion, slave, weapon, all of that. Nothing compared to its primary function. It's a messenger, like us, and it shares our history. If you feel its loss, remember, you could have turned away at any time, gone back home, and none of this would have happened. But you had to make one last delivery, and that's why I knew you'd come, courier. Couldn't stay away. It's who you are. What's inside that machine? That's all that mattered. All the machines here, made of wreckage from the divide, and all that was brought here. Inside its frame, it carries the message you brought here, and it'll do what it was programmed to do. Whatever it can to get home. The giants here will listen to it. I'll bring the divide to your home, your nation. Let its flag burn, just like you let the divide burn. Big Mountain Access Code, Ulysses. Command override. Navarro.
Back again. Left that crater behind. Got a few holotapes left. One's from the medical center. The woman, she fixed the recorder. Said it wouldn't last. Repayment for me, fixing her. She doesn't like debts. Can respect that. Payment enough. Just to hear someone who believes in the Brotherhood of Steel. Not Elijah. Different view. Same madness. She answered me on their philosophy, their way of seeing, the roads they walk. Dead ends. Empty. As if technology can solve anything. Big Empty's proof where that road leads. Just like the divide, and all the roads that lead to it. Big Empty. There's something hidden there. A crater. Past wind and sand. So deep in the desert, there's no turning back. Finding the crater was an accident. Was following the weather patterns. The divide sky torn like that. Man's violence, not nature's. That violence in the sky had a source. Tracked it, like following a river current. Left the colors to mark my way, like always. Case someone finds them, learns the pattern. The courier might. But I thought sand and wind would never end. Came to the crater. And there was an old world facility. A weather station at the edge. Still raking the sky with electricity and generators. And beyond it, saw the rest of the old world hell there. All carved up like garden plots. Had to see what was there. Couldn't leave it be. Things sleep in the big empty. The Brotherhood woke them up. Can't move quiet any more than the two-headed bear can. And when they woke up, it was like all of history waking up at once. Almost didn't make it out. Almost. Left with answers I never intended. it. I don't. Not any longer. There's old stories about gods and men, past history into myth, where the gods, they're like children, petulant, cruel. Those were the voices of the big empty. The past. Couldn't leave well enough alone. Had to ask the why of it. Their answers were madness, and power stronger than me. Would take 100 Elijahs, someone tougher than him or I, to best of them in their dome. They didn't know why they were there, what had led to that point. Their names, like serpents devouring themselves, cannibalizing their own thoughts. When all seemed lost, thought it was the end. My anger gave me strength to ask them my last question. Who are you that do not know your history? And they awoke, for a short time. The flag you wear, they said, we remember. America. It wasn't just a flag to them. It was a place, an idea they had cared for. Once, they told me what it was like to grow in that world. All they had done to lift it up, protect it. They didn't know it was gone. That, yet, they had cared once, before forgetting their history. As they were talking, kept seeing the career's shadow behind them, giving each their words weight. History cast aside, a home left behind. I listened. I asked, was there anything left? Anything that still carries America's voice? And they told me I had already been there. I and one other, walking right out of history deeper than we knew. They told me what lies in the heart of the divide, what can be found there, and the words to awaken it, and the one to speak them. Emptiness here, like the sands of the great salt lake, echoed, the beating in the divide sky, like storm drums of the white legs, ran with them on the salt beds at Caesar's command. Cut the throats of the two-headed bear, cut all communities off. Use storm, sky, disease, fire, starvation, and the violence of the ignorant to ruin all who could. Might stand against him. But the white legs, they couldn't live on their own like most scavengers, so gave them purpose, turned their hunger into a weapon. The wall of New Canaan, too high for Caesar, too proud maybe, or maybe something there from his past that needed killing. Memory of Graham. Help them dig out Canaan's supply caches and other secrets the sands hid. Bunkers filled with powered weapons even the Brotherhood might desire. They call these new weapons storm drums in the firing of shells. Taught them the power in the casings to channel the spirits in their guns. Me, they called me the flag bearer. Glory in my hand, in my staff that still bore the weight of the old world, just as the symbol on my back did. I learned their weapons as a means of respect, and when it came their turn to pay respect to me, history came rushing back. Can't escape what's been done. History's there, no matter how far you walk. I walked the great salt lake as Kaiser's eye, then his hand. Mongrels there, 2 legs and 4. Saw walls of New Canaan the scavengers circled, had the strength or fire to take. Too high, too strong. White legs, they were born for war. They run to it, hungry for battle. Yet their hunger is to be a part of history, something larger. Like the legion giants, Kaiser might see them. Might. Even the chance was a lie. To honor Kaiser, destroy the history of New Canaan and the way they carry it in their generations and family. Kaiser respects such strength, I told them. That was truth, even if strength wasn't the word. Obedience. You must be willing to kill anyone. Children, mothers, the weak, elders. If these new Canaanites value the generations, that is what you must kill. It was like Ulysses was speaking through me. Use the night, silence, and fire to change their words to please, to screams. No need for bombs, when hate will do. I asked the White Legs to destroy a people with ancestry going back thousands of years. Another death of history, lost to time. The new Canaanites. They supplied medicine, food traded with others, civilization, a hand from the past, not history, but maybe a past deeper, farther than that to a place where this God really exists. If so, his handiwork and people belong elsewhere, not in this place. Another symbol like bear and bull, with no meaning in the present. The White Legs meant to show respect, bribe me for Kaiser's favor, echoing mannerisms and words, showed them tech caches, taught them the workings of chamber and powder, spoke of Kaiser's pride in those that used such things. Lies. And then they tried to honor me, not the Legion. They brought me before the campfire one night, showed me how they changed themselves, how they wore their hair now. It was like my entire dead tribe in the firelight, teeth grinning red in the dark, eager corpses, blood-covered ghosts. They had taken my braids, the way of the twisted hairs, as if it showed they were like me, of me, while every knot in their braids spoke of raping, violence, and ignorance of what the knots meant. They thought to show respect, defiled it, lost myself in trying to read the braids they wove, when I remembered they had put no meaning in it. They had no history of what it meant. They didn't even know the insult in the twists, knots. And dry wells came rushing back. The White Legs circled like that. It was like looking at the dead of my tribe, reborn as ghosts, hateful, hungry, bowing to Kaiser. Another history, gone, carried by me alone.
Even in this place, NCR's shadow falls. Or is it just you, courier, without the bear's corpse to weigh you down? Judging by your shadow, maybe you can't let your machine go. Doesn't matter now. Either way, the Divide Giants are awakening. The missiles here on their way home. There is no way to stop them. You've answered your own question, and you'll die with that question on your lips. You don't see, listen, even when it's all around you. No matter if I nailed it into your head like a gift from Kaiser. You brought the Divide to life, courier. You walked the road, brought the bear, then the bull, brought me, following your tracks. And when I saw the divide you made, I saw a second chance, a new way of thinking. My world, no longer the East. And you brought the West in that package, destroyed it all, nearly killed me, flesh and spirit. You destroyed something larger than the bear, greater than the bull. And even when you could have turned away, you brought it again in that machine. You destroyed a nation taking its first breath, a place that could have been my home. Now, I'll destroy yours. No. Now there is purpose. I believe you when you say you were careless. The divide, the chip, the machine you brought here. Many messages can be taken from that, intended or not. What I do now is an act of conviction. Blame you? No. Learned from you. Both the weapon to kill a nation and the strength to do it. You showed me a road, a way to carry my message. You've already answered for what you've done. Now the flag you follow will answer for it. No. The paths we've walked, the roads and the flags above them carry equal blame. You walked the West, didn't stay. You know the reason. The bear grows without structure, follows a symbol without knowing its history. And knowing that you believe in a bear's sickness and have given it strength, and that gives more reason to lay waste to your homeland. After this, only one flag will remain over the Mojave. Let that one fly, or destroy itself. No need to destroy the bear. Just cut its throat. You taught me that at the divide. Only need to cut off the supply line, the road, to watch something greater die. I'll turn the long 15 into miles of fire. Cut off the Mojave. NCR will fall back, lose Hoover Dam, and leave their throats exposed to the Legion. Words are not enough to bear the weight of your flag, if you follow anything at all. Speeches are things of NCR, words without strength. Your actions have shown nothing. Your flag will burn, the Mojave will follow. The why of it. You taught me the why of it. If you believe in something enough, you must be willing to let it burn, lest it claim you. These governments of the two-headed bear, the Legion, they carry old world ideas into an age that no longer needs them, where they cannot live. Our history, the divide, that history has been written, its lessons learned. There's nothing more to be dug from these cracks in the earth, no more fury to be torn from its sky. Comes down to perspective, how far one's walked, and what they've left behind. If you challenge this moment, let's hear your perspective. If my words are all you have, let's hear them. That question. Either you walked the big empty, You found the last of the holotapes. The words are mine. Whatever answer you think they hold, you're wrong. It was a question, nothing more. I spoke those words in anger. I did not expect an answer. All was lost. I thought it was the end. Past their graves of failed technology, they had cared about the flag they had followed and the people beneath it, even with them dead and gone. But there's no answer in that. I do this because I care, because I believe it must be done. Those are my words. After what happened with the Brotherhood, talking with them, then with the rulers of the Big Empty. But it is their philosophy that was flawed, their weapons used with new perspective. Those weapons can be used to kill a symbol that has already proven itself wrong. Both. Why do you care? Nothing can prevent what comes. The missiles will launch. These questions, your words or mine, what do they matter to you? It may be that as much destruction has been written in the earth here. One buried this place, yet it lived on between us. One may build it again, build others. Your history has proven this here. There's truth in your words, but even if there's hope in change, it may not matter. The divide still stands against us. Our enemies gather outside, shadows of the bear and bull. They will have found their way in, just as you did. It was always my intention. In case I could not kill you, the marked men would flood this place, cut off your escape. If we cannot prevent what comes, then let us make our stand here. Two couriers together at the divide. Got you. They come for us, east and west alike. The machine, made from the parts of Navarro, it had only one message in its core: to get home at any cost. It echoes its master, and soon the missiles here will as well. There is nothing inside the machine except the means to awaken the missiles in the divide. That is its only message. You lie. There was only one message in the machine, only one message in the package you brought. The divide bore the symbol of America, as did the package from Navarro. The origins of the machine is of no importance. What do you seek to gain by telling me this? If you think that the symbol I wear is a weakness. If we must survive to carry its message, then that is what shall be done. I will not let America die here. But it may not matter, even if we lay down. Our enemies gather. It was always my intention. Respect. The braids I wore, they took that from me. Thought it made them more like me, more willing to have Caesar listen. They didn't know what the braids meant, the mark of my tribe before Caesar came, before Wolpus came for them at dry wells. There was death in that meeting, even while Wolpus smiled, asked for our help against the other tribes. All the while, they were looking to cast our history on the fire, and did. Another tribe, consumed by the bull. Nothing left. Respect the white legs. That tribe of jackals. Never. If you've heard my words, and that's all you... If you ever...
Last tape, last message. In case you best me. If you're hearing this, you have, through blood or word. This message and all that lies with it. It is for you, courier. If you want to know the why of things. This world, I've walked a good part of it. I stopped only because of you. What you did gave me pause. Long ago, I crossed the Colorado, the first among the Legion to see Hoover Dam in all its glory. An old world wall, yet bridging two sides. And beyond it, a symbol of a two-headed bear. An idea great enough to challenge Caesar himself. Might kill him taking it, whether he won or lost. The bull needs to fight, needs the challenge. Without it, it falters, dies in the dust. Might be a lesson there, in you and me. Leave the thought behind the message to you. My message is this. The destruction that has been wrought at the Divide, or elsewhere, if you couldn't stop me, it can happen again. It will keep happening. If war doesn't change, men must change, and so must their symbols. Even if it is nothing at all, know what you follow, courier. Just as I followed you to the end. Whatever your symbol, carry it on your back and wear it proudly when you stand at Hoover Dam.
Full circle. Walked your road. Now back again. Something else in you needing an answer. A question one could have asked you not long ago, before walking the road west into the storms. Need to be here. See what was done. It's custom of the bear to never see the marks it claws in the land. Not my custom. Maybe that's why you've come too. Need to see where the missile from Ashton touched ground down below in Hopeville. The Courier's Mile. My name for it. If you have a better one, you grant it. My choice in names won't carry past you and I. Lies along the road, running from the Hopeville silo, straight onto where the ground burns, and wind howls even stronger than here. That's part of why I'm here. Watch them. If they attack me, try to enter the Mojave. I answer, not looking to kill them. Save them, if I can. There might be something saving in them. If not, then what I do is mercy, not murder. The invisible fires burn here, true enough. Still, to have helped carry out such an act, then not face it, not my way. If my life burns out here, so be it. Until then, I wait and watch, see what the road brings. Something else in you needing an answer? Not a camp. Vigil, maybe. Never claimed it as mine. If anyone owns the divide, your claim is stronger than mine. Don't feel like adding a campfire to the ones that already burn below. If you brought Mojave gifts, might be able to shape something for the road. Depends what history has to say about them. There's a lot the land can provide, if you know the road that led to it. Mojave's got ways of healing most ills. If not, some tribes have usually found a way you didn't expect. Like healing powders. Tribes back west only use Xander and Brockflower. There's a way the twin mothers in the east used to brew it though. Called it bitter drink. Mixed up the Xander and Brock in a bottle. Added some kick to it, so your head doesn't get all clouded. History. Cures a wound, leaves the bitterness that caused it. The twin mothers were always about lessons. Caesar taught them the last one, though. So that's it for them. Recipe still exists. Legion uses it on forced marches with wounded soldiers. Wouldn't have made it through Crimson River Trail a few years back without it. Losing so much blood early on was a Cazador feast. Enough Xander root and Brockflower along the trail, though. The Legion was able to keep pace and get where they were going. Can do that, and one better. Just enough around to mix some. Here, might make the twin mother's history live a little longer. You carrying it. When you drink it, down it all in one shot, or your stomach's not going to want to keep going after the second drink. Need to be here, see what was done. In the Divide, in Hopeville, the Courier's Mile. Questions have a habit of making others. Let's see what gifts the Mojave has for us. Something else in you needing an answer? Nothing more than I've already shared. We'll have to keep with what we know. Tired of history's lessons anyway. Questions? Walk there sometimes. Keep the walks short. Still, it's important to see. Something else to answer for. Occasionally sift through the dust, the buildings. See if I can find some history, marks of America. If you want them, keep them. You've earned it. Nothing to be gained by me holding them, and more will surface in time. Nothing but wind, sand, ash. More may reveal itself in time, not now. If you're determined, return. Might be something new surfaces. Old world wall, run red with blood of bear and bull. It'll bleed more before the sun sets on the Mojave. That place and I have a past, owe it a debt, and it owes me. If your path takes you there, know you're not the only one. It's the wall by which this age will be measured, the gravestone of the Mojave. Old world never meant it as such. Can hear the weight in your feet. You're bound for that old world wall, Hoover Dam. Maybe not now. In time. Bear and bull shed too much blood there to let it go. Can't stop you from going. Wouldn't. A warning, though. The legate Linnaeus, whether Caesar stands or not, Linnaeus will come. Linnaeus, the butcher, monster, terror of the East. Not even his slaves have seen his face. Struck them blind so they can't. Wears a mask. Don't even know if it's the same man. He put Colorado to the sword. Broke the hangdogs by throwing their hounds upon the flames, so they might burn forever in the afterlife. To take Hoover Dam, Legion will need something as big as the old world itself. Another symbol forged by history. Linnaeus carries all the terrors of the East with him. He's the myth, the weapon the Legion needs. When he arrives, he'll fall on Hoover Dam like a hammer. Break the bear in two. 19 tribes could not do it. All the lights in Vegas cannot. His strength lies in his title, and it is his weakness. He will not fight a losing battle and destroy what he represents. Put the idea of loss in him. Convince him the bear will not be the 20th tribe beneath his heel. It will make him pause like nothing on earth. You do not need to convince him alone. Draw upon history. The past of other legates are not filled with victories. Remind Linnaeus of this. There are other legates, and the one before Linnaeus couldn't take Hoover Dam for Caesar. That legate's mistake is he didn't die trying. His name was Joshua Graham, answered for his failure. Twice, some say. Caesar had him burned and cast into the earth, into the largest canyon you've ever seen. Watched the flames trail all the way to the bottom. Somehow, Joshua walked away from that, went beyond Caesar's gaze. His footsteps trailing fire, walking from one hell, maybe to another. When one is ruined like Graham was, sometimes home is the only place left. If so, he went to New Canaan, Caesar's anger written on him like a book. Caesar's orders to the Frumentari were to watch for him, find Graham, kill him. Didn't try. Could've. No good would have come of it. Graham earned his life and his nature. It'll kill him more surely than any blade of the Legion. So, if you've heard word of it, or seen sign of him, let it keep. Let his history keep. Then there's nothing more to be done. The Mojave awaits. Something else in you need... The divide belongs to history now. The Mojave awaits. Hopeville burned lightless in the night, invisible fires of radiation scorching it from within and without. It is said a man still walked its streets with a tattered jacket, an old-world flag etched on the back. He remained there, perhaps as punishment for the scars he left on the wastes, or a reminder of a history he could not forget. For Ulysses, his journey was over. The courier had been the end of his road. As for the courier, he turned his back on his home for the second time and made his way back, navigating the treachery of the divide. Tunnelers and the marked men avoided the lone figure, as if recognizing the courier's right to passage, or out of fear. The courier walked until he stood again upon the edge of the divide, the last road he would walk before the second battle for Hoover Dam. There, beside his feet, was a final package from one courier to another. A footlocker bearing a gift and a message. But that message, it is something for couriers to carry, and for them alone. The lights flickered across the divide, reminders that the old world histories persist and find meaning in the present. It said, war never changes. Men do, through the roads they walk. And this road has reached its end.